Welcome to another RSR. Tonight I'm reviewing Forge FC 2, Vancouver FC 0 in Canadian Premier League 2023 Week 18, Forge's 18th match of the season. Top of the league as of now after this win. Took them 2 games and a half to finally score on Vancouver FC and took them 3 games against them to win. But they finally got it done. The first half was 0-0. A very tight half. Forge had a lot of the possession, but they couldn't really get that final ball going. They couldn't really get those chances going in the first half. Vancouver defensively played well. Tactically played well defensively, but it was a very boring first half. A very sad half to watch because personally I thought Forge should have done better. I think their forward play was a bit lacking. I think their final ball was lacking. They could have easily, if they actually figured something out, could have scored a goal or two in the first half. But good on Vancouver to defensively keep Forge down and keep them scoreless for a half and almost a whole game. Because in the 72nd minute, Forge finally got a goal. Abubakar Sissoko basically runs in a lot of open space, and he puts it past a defender, past the leg of a defender, into the net, past Callum Irving to make it 1-0 in the 72nd minute. Then a minute later, Wubens Pashas, ball crossed in by Becker, doesn't get to Irving's hands. The net's pretty much open. Wubens Pashas taps it in, makes it 2-0 Forge. That's the way it would end. 2 quick goals, 2 quick in succession goals, and Forge wins because of it. Lovely, because, well, they finally get their first goal against Vancouver in history and their first win. Took them half a year, but they got it done. Big win for Forge. It was a tough first half. The second half, Forge definitely dominated the second half. They should have won by 3 or 4, to be honest. And there was a chance where Pashas could have checked keeper and chipped it where he didn't, but I thought he had it. I legitimately thought he had it. That could have been 3 or 4, to be honest. With that being said, stats are as follows. 15 shots to 13, 5 shots on goal to 3, 58% possession to 42, 581 passes to 412, 88% pass accuracy to 83%, 8 fouls to 8, 1 offside to 1, 1 yellow card to 2, 0 red cards to 0, 6 corners to 6. Again, Forge in the second half, unlike the first time they played in Hamilton this year, Vancouver and Forge, which I covered that as well, ironically. I was about to start drawing similarities between both games by the time this finished. I was about to start drawing similarities because I was like, that first half was very similar to the first half of the first game. I was like, is this going to be another 0-0 draw, another hard-fought, dominated by Forge at times, but still a hard-fought game, a draw? Sadly enough, no, Forge got it done, and they should have won by more than 2. The second half, Forge came out and said, we got this figured out. They make 2 subs. They sub on Sissoko and Pashas as the half is rolling on, and they get goals from their 2 substitutes. That's what you got. That's what you want to see, pretty much. That is what you want to see when it comes to this sport. When you have 2 substitutes, you're like, hey, let's sub these guys on. Let's push it forward, and let's get some out of it. That was the change this team needed, because I think tactically, Vancouver, they've beat them once. They've drawn them once. They almost drawn them again today. I think Vancouver tactically knows how to play Forge. I think the tactics that Vancouver has are very much of a stonewall to Forge, unlike most teams. Sadly, most other teams don't play that same way. They just do it their way. To their detriment, I should say. To their detriment. But Vancouver plays in a way that could very much stonewall Forge, as you saw earlier this year and even tonight. But once Forge finally figured it out, they were like, all right. And they got it done. This is the Forge. The 2 goals that I saw in quick succession is the Forge that I know. Is the Forge that takes no prisoners, that is the best team in the Canadian Premier League and probably arguably the best team in Canada. Arguably, at least, well, the Forge I know was arguably the best team in Canada back when 2021 was rolling, but again, Forge showed their quality. They finally showed that they're not a team to mess with. Forge did what they had to do. Pashis, great goal. Well, he was in the right position, but especially a great goal by Sissoko. Sissoko putting one in. Hey, they got it done. They got what they needed. Is it the best game? No. Was the second half way better than the first? Yes. Was the first half boring as all sin? Yes. Was that a slog fest? Yes. The second half, Forge dominated. They should have scored 3 or 4 goals. They should have scored 3 or 4. And that's the sadder part. Is 2-0 was just not really, was just the bare minimum Forge could do. Again, as I said, Pashis could have scored more than one. He could have checked keeper late in the match. He had that ball. He had the positioning. He didn't check keeper, but he could have. Keeper was way off. Irving was way off his line. He could have done that. I think he should have, frankly. But again, Forge, second half, very dominant. First half, boring. But in the end, they got it done. And that's the way I would like to put it, is Forge got it done in a very Forge-like way. Even though they had to fight, they still got it done in a Forge-like way. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about this. There's not much to talk about after the fact that Forge won and the goals and what I thought. Not much to really talk about. There's not much to really chew on, so to speak, in this situation. So with that being said, I'll leave you with that. If you like this video, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribed. Send super chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put us in playlist. Share us with friends and family. All that great stuff. I shall see you tomorrow for a live watch along and review of Orlando City versus Santos Laguna in the final match day of, well, their final match day of the Leagues Cup. The last of 3 group stage match days, of course. But, again, I will see you tomorrow. Then, of course, on Sunday for the Premier League Summer Series finale between Chelsea and Fulham. I'll be live for that and review that. Then on Sunday night evening, I'll be live for Toronto versus Atlas. Maybe they win by 3 and do what they're supposed to do to get through. Hopefully the football gods help them with that. And then on Monday, I'll be live for Kluba Medica versus Columbus Crew. And I'll be live and review for Sporting Kansas City and Chivas. So we got a full 3 days here. Well, almost full 3 days. But there's a reason I'm doing the Chelsea match. And there's also a reason I'm doing this, because both LA matches got postponed. So, I feel like there has to be some sort of give back there, If not, Toronto would have been a 1-game night. With that being said, though, I'll see you tomorrow. Let's have some fun this weekend and Monday. And let's end the month on a high. We already are, but let's keep that going. I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace. See you later.